So, welcome to the Power of Public Speaking. Some of you may have already seen this. I've always been asked about how do I speak with such power? How do I get on stage? How do I, present to a lot of crowds? And this is one thing also out of my book, 7 Traits of Highly Successful Women, one of the workshops or one of the courses that I've come up with. Or taken from the book. So I'm going to give you a very top line presentation of this today. And if anybody has any more questions, I will leave you with my email. I will leave you with my LinkedIn. And of course, you can always contact me through Wintrade Global. Now, Anjanita said, you always need to make it personal. And for me, this is very personal. She also talked about we must tell our stories. Everybody's got a story to tell, and we must tell it. So I always use this particular African proverb: until the lion learns how to write, every story will glorify the hunter. And of course, we all have stories, and we all need to learn to write and tell our own stories. So here again is a whistle-stop tour. Some of you may have seen this yesterday. My public speaking and my book has taken me around the world. Here I'm speaking to the Sultan of Oman at a conference on mental health. Here I am at United Nations in New York. You all know who I'm speaking to there. And if you don't, it's the next King of England. It's Prince Charles. I've spoken various times at Facebook, both in London and in New York. Through my book, again, I've been part of an amazing campaign for mental health. And this is part of the campaign. I've had a celebrity photographer taking my picture. It's been great. And this more recently, I think you've all heard me talk about the She Conference. And this is me at the She Conference a couple of months ago, talking to over 3,000 women in the Spectrum Arena in Oslo. Some of you may know I've done a TED Talk. I've just been invited to do another one in October in London. I've also been invited to do another one in Oman, the Power of Public Speaking. So I've been presented with a wonderful certificate or trophy, again by the Sultan of Oman for the work that I'm doing. So this all began with a very young Yvonne Thompson who came to London in the 60s from Guyana. I'm not going to go through the full story because there's 60 years worth of it. And there you go. I've just let you all know how old I really am. So decades later, I am collecting honorary doctorates, 2 of them. I'm collecting 4 honorary fellowships by some of the top universities in the UK. I became a doctor first and foremost. I went to the palace as Dr. Yvonne Thompson to be awarded by Her Majesty, the Queen of England, and I came out of the palace as Dr. Yvonne Thompson CBE. So there's, and I show you this, I tell you my story, because if I can do it from where I came from, you can do it too. And this is the moral of my story. My very latest decoration is to become a Deputy Lieutenant for Greater London. And that means that every time any one of the royals do a public visit across London, I'm not saying I do all of them, but I could be called upon to go with them, to escort them on that visit. So please do join in, and you can, if you wish, give me a round of applause. There you go. I like to keep it quite light so that you engage and that you can really understand what it is I'm sharing. But of course, it wasn't always that way. My story is much the same as many other immigrants who've moved from one country to another. Parents invited by the Queen from the Commonwealth. But when we got here, we weren't really accepted. But I always call my parents the true entrepreneurs because they traveled with their 6 children and what I call a backpack of dreams for each of them, which was probably the heaviest burden. 6 kids, no friends, no family, no support, but they came to London because the Queen invited them. Of course, at that time, it was very popular, or still legal, it's no longer legal, for landlords to have this kind of notice on their doors. No Irish, no blacks, no dogs, which made it very difficult for my parents to find somewhere for 8 people to live. Yes, that is me in the left-hand corner at a young, tender age. I can't remember what age I was there. But we lived in the worst 2-room basement in the worst street in the worst part of London. And that was right under the then active funnels of the Battersea Power Station, which gave power to the whole of London at that time. But, you know, it wasn't so much of a bad thing. But I always say that if only I knew then what I know now about property prices, I would have squatted there forever, because this is what the Battersea Power Station now looks like. Each of the flats, and there are hundreds of them in there, over £1 million. So, we seem to have gone over this again. Let me give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the life and times of Dr. Yvonne Thompson. So I trained as a young Black single mother. I trained, or got a job and trained, at CBS Records. I was there for 7.5 years and I was not promoted. So I thought the only way for me to move up was to move out. I did that, and I started the first Black-owned PR company in the UK. As noted by PR Week, which is the industry Bible, I was part of one of the directors of the first legal Black-owned radio station, which you can now hear as part of the largest media group in London, Global Radio. Started the first Black Women in Business network, which, thank you all, we managed to become far more diverse and open to everybody. So we are now a diverse network. Sat on so many boards, including in Europe at the European Parliament. I received my CBE, Commander of the British Empire, published my Amazon book, which has opened so many doors for me. I did a lot of things anyway, but this was what really skyrocketed my trajectory to where I am now. So I always say to people, if you've not yet written a book, you need to become an author, an authority. When you write a book, you become the authority, or an authority on what you write about. As I said, awarded 2 honorary doctorates and fellowships, and I've spoken to, over the 40 years, to over 25,000 people. But of course, it can't beat the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you now, which is, one of the best honors. So over 40 years, confidence building, information gathering, and most of all, as Dr. Glenna has talked about, and Anjanita, networking. So many people take networking as an add-on to what they do, when it should be the center of what they do if you're running a business. As I said, I wrote my book in 90 days, and I've used this to become my passport through so many doors. And I'll be telling you a bit more about that, but I want to let you know that we will be running an immersion weekend workshop this coming autumn. I will publish and release the dates very soon. But again, if you want to walk the path that I've walked, it won't take you 40 years. I will help you do that over a 12-week period, including a weekend workshop, immersion workshop, which gives us the jump start. And just so that you know the blueprint that we will be working with, we will be looking at the superpowers of presentation, of public speaking. So the superpowers include preparation, presentation, presence, which we've talked about a lot. You're going to hear a bit more about persuasion, because after me, you will hear a lot about how to sell without selling. We talked about the superpower of your product. We've talked about positioning. You did that with your mindset session. And of course, we're going to be talking about the power of people and how you interact with them. So all of that put together gives us the workshop that I will be taking you through. So some of you may know that the fear of public speaking is known as glossophobia. 75% of British people suffer from it. And I understand from a national mental health report, 77% of Americans suffer from glossophobia. So in the power of public speaking, we're looking to turn it around. We want to help others benefit from my experience. And if you turn around your glossophobia, if that's what you have, you should be able to help other people to benefit from your experience as well. So if you want to turn failure, insecurity, competitiveness, shyness, rejection, being unsure of yourself, and just having a glimmer of success, to being fierce on stage, to being unstoppable, to being collaborative, smashing it when you come to sell, looking at turning rejection around, how to move from being unsure to self-assured, and of course, from just being having success, to being full of success, to being successful. So we are going to look at it through our guided speaking system. And through this, you can ensure that you get paid over and over again. You can use public speaking to get more business, more clients, and more profile. You can increase your chances of getting more consistent results in your business. Live the dream life you've always wanted to. Experience what it really feels like to be successful. And of course, fulfill the destiny that you have in mind. We'll help you navigate that path. And also, we want to make sure that you use the system to do that, where you will save time, you will save you'll be less stressful, you'll have more time, you'll have more energy, and of course, more money. And there you go. That is just some of it. So if you want to jumpstart your public speaking career, but not sure if you can afford it, not sure if it's right for you, then this system is for you. So let me tell you a little bit more. Can you imagine, like excuse me, my watch is talking to me. I don't know why, but there you go. So if you can imagine yourself having learned the techniques, the tips, the tricks, and all the things that I will teach you over a 12-week coaching period. Imagine yourself now that you're ready to step onto your own stage and ready to own that stage. You could be like Barack, maybe. How about that? So this is definitely for you if that's something you want to do. And ladies, as I believe that Anjanita mentioned this, that we are still so behind in many things that we're doing. Kenya currently has the highest percentage of female speakers. And if you look through the others, there are so many gaps. There are still a lot of gaps to fill. UK has 25% compared to 75%. Sydney, Germany has 16% compared to 84% male. Belgium, South Africa, there's so much room to move forward and space for us. I think Joel said it earlier on, the female era is approaching. Let's be ready for it, please. Again, just want to remind you, we will be doing an immersion workshop coming this autumn, and I will send you the information. I'm going to walk through some top line information about the 7-step blueprint to make sure that you become unshakable with confidence on stage, and it gets you booked and paid over and over again. I keep saying to you, if I can do it, you can do it too. It's a mindset. It really is. So here are the various powers again. Your superpowers are preparation, presentation, presence, persuasion, which is sales, your product, having it right, your positioning, make sure you are positioned in the right way, and people, making sure that you network with the right people, that you're attracting the right people, that you're selling to the right people. This is what the power of public speaking is all about. Just a quick overview of some of the things we'll be looking at. Aristotle's rhetorical triangle. We'll look at the values, the bond that you create, the emotion that you create to get your presentation or your workshop or your masterclass right. We'll look at how we put together the logic, the reasoning, the proof. We'll look at the trust, which is one of the most important things, the trust, the credibility, and the allure, how you attract and draw people to you. So just to give you an example of what we'll be looking at the course, through the course models. Model 1, as we've seen this already, it is about preparation, it is about presentation, persuasion, presence, product, positioning, and people. And we do this, we go through this in depth over 2 days from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock. And we do it at a weekend so that we make sure that you have no other distractions. I take you away for a weekend. I say I take you away. This particular one is online, but we have in the past done physical events. But you can see that every module comes together to make sure that you get the whole picture by the end of the 2 days. What then follows is 12 weeks of coaching, of putting everything together, of walking you through it, hand-holding you through it. So we've talked about what you will do, what you will achieve, turn your passion to profit, turn your fear into your fortune, stage fright into stage fight, to be on that stage, get past the imposter syndrome. If you're prepared to invest in yourself, if you want to own your own GPS, your own guided public speaking system that will open the doors for you, that will take you or can take you around the world, it's certainly taken me around the world, then this is what you need to do. You have to think about, you're here on this 2-day summit. You're going to be listening to some persuasive speakers. Why are you here? What is your goal for the next 3 months? What steps are you taking to reach that goal? How do you plan? How do you navigate? How do you achieve what you want to within the next 6 months, or certainly get a good way along that? What is your ultimate dream that you want to achieve during that time? So just like myself and many others, you can overcome obstacles, you get around the challenges, you get through those roadblocks, and you get past being stuck. This is some things that happen to all of us during our lifetime or during our entrepreneurial journey. So the power of public speaking helps you to get over many of these obstacles, if not all. And again, what has stopped you so far? Is it that you have no money? Is it that you have stage fright, that you have no time? You can't find your story, or you can't tell it compellingly? You can't find the right program? Well, let's see what we can do for you. If we gave you the tools to help you turn your fear to financial freedom. As Anjanita has said, I've got to give her this one: turn your mess into your message, minutes on stage into money in your bank account, and enough time to spend with your friends and family, which is one of the most important things, because you realize as you get older, life is short and it gets shorter, and all of a sudden there's all these things you wish you had done. Well, here is the opportunity to make sure that you have the time to do it. This is the right program for you. So, as I said, over the years, I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money looking and paying for various programs. And I can guarantee you and honestly hold my hands up and say that I've spent over £75,000 on various courses, on, conferences, on traveling to lots of different things. And if you can put that together, if I can put something together for you that makes sure that you don't have to spend that time and that money and get to your goal much faster, isn't this something that you would like to hear about or know more about? I've put £25,000 in there because currently that is what I charge per person, corporates, to work with them over a year to do this very program. And I've put £12,000 in there because once you start the 12-week course, we will be giving you information, we will be giving you programs, we will be giving you assets that if you bought them separately, that's what it would cost. But I'm not asking you for any of these things right now. It's, as I keep saying, it's a full immersive weekend. We will be having some special guests who come along and talk about particular things, like maybe Anjanita, like maybe Dr. Glenna, but we will be having speakers who come along to talk about different items. We will be making sure that you have a virtual backpack, which is full of lots of bonuses, resources, information, all sorts of things to make sure that what you do when you walk away from us, that you are ready to go and get your first public speaking opportunity. So, as I say, if you want to achieve what others don't, you've got to do what others won't. You've got to, as Lillian said, she loved that saying, you've got to find your focus and focus on your focus. Stay focused until you achieve that goal. You've got to get in the room, right? If you can today, get in a room on a table with our team and book a call with us. Book a call with us because we want to make sure that anybody who comes on this program is right for the program. We don't want people who think they're right come and start the program and find that it's after not what they wanted. So we actually vet everyone to make sure that you're right. It has to be right for both sides. It has to be right for you and it has to be right for us. So again, if you want to find out more, you can book a call. We'll put this, I think we've got this link that we can put in the chat box, and there will be some other links that are coming up. Or you can write to SEM at Wintrade Global, and we'll pick up your information and we'll book the call for you that way. So see if the link is in the chat box. It may be. I certainly hope it is by now. So if this is you, before you make a decision, I mean, we've all seen this scene in Game of Thrones, right? And if this is you, scared to move forward, looking backwards, very fearful, don't know what to do, it's time that you move forward. It's time that you become ready to invest in your future and your dreams. Invest in your destiny. You need to own your own coordinates. You need your own GPS. You need your own guided public speaking system. And you need to own your own financial freedom. So please act now, book a call with us. We can talk to you about it. Again, I say, if you want to achieve what others don't, you've got to do what others won't. Fortune favors the brave. There is a gift for you. at the end of this, which I hope will make everything a lot more achievable for you. So we're going to put the link in the chat box. I believe that Sally can do that. I've listed here, I'm not going to go through it all. I did say to you that your virtual backpack is worth £12,000, but we're going to make sure that you don't pay anywhere near that. In fact, the total of the virtual backpack is £12,009 to be precise. But for anybody who is part of WinTrade Global, anybody who is on this call, we are offering the 2-day immersion weekend. You get myself, you get Sydney, you get additional speakers, invited speakers to come along and work with you. And throughout the 12 weeks, you are handheld through the coaching. So it's a mere £1,997 investment. If you book today, even if you book the call today, we will hold it at that price. So there you go, boom. £1,997 gets you onto the WinTrade Global Power of Public Speaking. We will also be offering people who go through this process the opportunity to speak on one of our summits and share one of our stages. And that will be a selection, probably the first 6 people to get through it. And as I said, at the end of this, here is an opportunity. We are offering everybody that books in today £250 off of this particular course. We're investing in you to help you to invest in yourself. So we're offering you a scholarship. Again, don't hold back. As Anjanita said, my call to action, my CTA call to action is to, if you're ready to move, book on. But if you're not, let's have a discussion. Happy to talk to you. We give you all the guarantees, and we also guarantee that if it's not what you want, even if you get through half of it, if you get through the weekend and you decide it's not what you want, we will reimburse you fully. So, you don't lose your money, but it is an opportunity to get in whilst you can. This is a great opportunity to train up, to make sure that you hit 2023, hit the ground running in 2023. Start thinking about how your public speaking can help your business during that time. We also offer the opportunity for 3 easy pays. And again, click the link in the chat box. You will see what that is, and or book a call with us. If you do the 3 easy pays, you do not get the £250 scholarship because it's paid over a period of time. So there it is. Now, even our Leonardo DiCaprio thinks that's a great deal. He can't stop clapping. There you go. The immersion weekend is the way to go. It's the thing to do. The scholarship today, as I said, click in the chat box. I'm happy to take questions. I've got about 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to take questions. But if you want to directly email me, you can do so, yvonne.thompson@wintradeglobal.com, or contact me through LinkedIn. But this is the most direct way, or book a call, whichever suits you best.